Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unpack the hidden stories and mountains of corporate paperwork. Today we're diving into Starwood Credit Real Estate Income Trust's latest filing. And let me tell you, this one's got some interesting moves that spell out a clear strategy for growth. Before we dive in, if you love getting the real scoop on companies and making sense of those dry financial reports, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And hey, we've got a fantastic community on Discord sharing insights on all things finance. It's linked in the description below, so come join us. So Starwood Credit Real Estate Income Trust, a company that focuses on real estate investments and income generation, has just put out a report detailing some behind the scenes deals. What's really juicy here is understanding how they're actually growing and what that means for investors. The main event in this report is about the company selling more of its shares. Now, this wasn't a big public splash where everyone could buy in. Instead, it was a private offering, essentially selling shares directly to a select group of investors. Think of it like a private club getting early access to something exclusive. On September 2, 2025, they sold over 3,260 shares. That might sound like a lot, but what's really key is what that means for the company's resources. They raised about $66 million from this sale. That's significant cash injection they can now use to fund their operations or make new investments. Now, they offered two types of shares, Class S and Class I. The Class S shares were priced at about $20.18 per share, and the Class I shares were priced a little lower at around $20.16 per share. This difference in pricing often depends on things like who the investor is and what fees are involved. It's important to note that when they talk about the total amount raised, there are often fees and commissions involved. In this case, a chunk of that money went to the people who helped facilitate the sale. For the Class S shares, for example, over $54,000 were these selling commissions. This is pretty standard practice in the investment world, but it's good to know where the money is going. One critical detail here is how they sold these shares. They mention the sale was exempt from standard registration requirements. This usually happens when companies sell to a limited number of sophisticated investors who are assumed to be knowledgeable enough to assess the risks without the full regulatory protections that a public offering would require. It's a way to raise capital more quickly and with less red tape, but it means these shares aren't available to just anyone. The fact that they're filing this under a current report like an 8K signifies they're providing essential information to the public in a timely manner. This specific report details a sale of unregistered securities, which is a significant event for a company and its investors to know about. And who's signing off on this important update? Well, it's Dennis G. Xu, the Chief Executive Officer and President of Starwood Credit Real Estate Income Trust. His signature here confirms the accuracy of the information presented in this filing. He's essentially saying, yes, this is what happened, and here are the details. Now let's wrap this up with my take. Starwood Credit Real Estate Income Trust is actively raising capital through private placements. This is a clear signal they're looking to expand their real estate portfolio or support existing operations with fresh funds. Raising $6.6 million isn't going to change the world overnight, especially for a large investment trust, but it's a positive step and shows they're utilizing available strategies to fuel their growth. The use of private offerings is a smart move for them to access capital without the lengthy and costly process of a public offering. This allows them to be more agile in their investment decisions and potentially react faster to market opportunities. A key risk to keep an eye on, however, isn't going to change the world overnight, especially for a large investment trust, but it's a positive step and shows they're utilizing available strategies to fuel their growth. The use of private offerings is a smart move for them to access capital without the lengthy and costly process of a public offering. This allows them to be more agile in their investment decisions, to potentially react faster to market opportunities. A key risk to keep an eye on, however, is that... Alright, that's our breakdown of Starwood Credit Real Estate Income Trust's latest filing. What's your take on these moves and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.